When you have a difficult checkout process, people are going to bounce. I'm trying to pay you for your services or your product or whatever. Why are you making it so difficult? Well, hey friends, welcome back to the podcast. I'm excited to be here today. I have been off for 20 days because I have a kick butt team and they are able to run the show without me, which is amazing. And I needed a little time off with a missions trip to Mexico with Ava and then a birthday trip with Jason and the kids. And so this is my first time recording in the last couple of weeks. And I'm super excited. What I'm going to talk about today is for those of you who are in business and you're trying to make money, in the online space, I want to talk to you on this episode about please make it easy for me to give you money. This has become such a frustrating thing for me. And what's funny is I was talking to Jason right before I came in here to record, and I'm like, okay, we've had several instances of this lately. Like, give me an example. Like, I'm trying to remember what company we were just recently working with. And of course, neither of us can like remember in the moment. I'll think about it at 2 a.m. and that's when I'll remember recently the couple of things we've had. But Jason and I have both had things happen lately where we've both looked at each other and we're like, I just want to give them money. I'm trying to pay you. Like I'm trying to pay you for your services or your product or whatever. Why are you making it so difficult? And I think it's super interesting because I think a lot of times as business owners, we don't even realize how complicated sometimes we make things. We're thinking because we're so close to it, right? We're so close to our sales page. We're so close to our, Shopify store, whatever, that we don't even realize that people are having to jump through hoops to get through the checkout. And in doing so, you are losing sales 100% of the time. Because when you make your checkout process clunky, complicated, or confusing, man, that's 3 C's. That's amazing. Clunky, complicated, or confusing, you are losing sales 100% of the time. When you have a difficult checkout process, people are going to bounce. And the reason they bounce is because as human beings, we're just lazy by nature. If you have a really confusing checkout process, you're losing sales also. If you make it so that it's clunky, like it just, you go to one screen and then it backs you up to another and it's not saving your information from sale to sale to sale. If you've been to that checkout page before, that is an example. Okay. Thank you, Lord, is one of the examples. There is a skincare product that I love to use, but their sales page makes me literally like want to stab myself in the foot with a dull fork. Every time I get to their sales page, I'm like, I want to poke my eyeballs out. Why? Why do you make it so hard? Why do you make it so hard for me to give you money? Literally, if you start putting in your credit card number and then you get off of the sales page for a few minutes, you go make yourself some toast, get some yogurt for breakfast, and you come back. If you've timed out, then you got to start all over again. So, and if you get, all the way through, like I've ordered from this company no less than 10 times, but it doesn't remember me from time to time to time. And I can't like auto populate everything. And so it drives me insane how difficult the process is. And what's funny is when I talk to the woman I'm ordering the product from, she says, we have told the home office time and time again how clunky the checkout process is and how many people complain about it, and they just have never gotten it fixed. And I'm thinking to myself, that is mind-blowing to me because some small changes to your checkout process could equal such huge returns by way of sales. Donald Miller, who is the owner of Story Brand, he has a saying that I think every single business owner has got to keep in the back of their mind. And his saying is, if you confuse, you lose. So if you're confusing people in the checkout process, if they're confused about why it's going back to a certain screen, if they're having to enter in, information more than once, essentially you're losing sales, bottom line. And so I want to give you some thoughts today, just in no particular order here, but some things I want you to think about when you're thinking about your own checkout page and how people are giving you money. I want you to think too, through the eyes of somebody who's never been to your site before, if you can. Because when it's yours and the checkout page is yours, You're a lot of times just way too close to it. You almost need somebody to go through your checkout process. You can give them a coupon to like make sure it's, 100% off or something, but so that they go through the entire checkout process and can give you feedback. And that needs to be a person, by the way, who's not just going to tell you what you want to hear, but it's actually going to tell you the truth. It needs to be somebody that loves you enough to tell you the truth. Okay. So here's some tips. Here's some thoughts. First of all, if you're somebody that's using Instagram and you're using Instagram to try to get sales at all by way of putting something in the feed or on your Instagram stories, you need to make sure that what you sell is super obvious in your bio and that you have a link directly to the sales page where people can check out. What I a lot of times find that people will do, I was even talking to one of my mastermind women about this the other day. She was in the middle of a launch. And I said, okay, when I go to your Instagram and I look at your bio, number one, it doesn't say anything about what you're launching right now. Number two, when I click on the link, you have a Linktree link, which is taking me to your freebie, your podcast, your Amazon storefront, and then the thing that's actually open right now, and then your blog and, whatever else. And I'm like, anytime you are in the middle of a launch, you only want people to be looking at one option, one thing with you. You don't want them to come to your Linktree and be like, oh, well, why would I pay for this course when I can get this thing up here for free? So if you're in the middle of launching, change the link on your bio in Instagram, if you're using that for sales, to whatever it is that you currently have for sale. Make sure you put a line right on top of that. It says something like, so we're getting ready. My Better Way program is getting ready to be open. This is for anybody who is doing coaching or consulting with a, membership group, with one-on-one consulting, or wanting to have a course that they put out into the world. So if what I will have in my bio is, if you are looking to launch a course or a membership or one-on-one consulting, click the link below. And then it will say www.betterwayprogram.com. Does that make sense? And I know that even without Linktree now, Instagram allows you to put more than one link, but don't do that when you've got something that you're launching, because you don't want people to get distracted. Especially like if I think of who my clients are, my ideal clients are middle-aged women who love Jesus, who are business owners. A lot of them have very creative brains. Okay. Not all of them, but a lot of them do. Now, as a female, a lot of times we are highly distracted. As a middle-aged woman, I am highly distracted. As a creative, I have squirrel syndrome the majority of the time. So if I'm trying to check out on your sales page and you're making it clunky or there's too many options, I'm like, when I have more than, more options than what I need, then I'm like, ooh, well, let me go look over this. And ooh, now let me go over here. And before you know it, I don't even remember what page I should have been on to check out. I'm distracted. The phone rings, Jason texts me, and then you've just lost a sale. So please keep it super simple, especially in your bio, on your Facebook page, etc. Okay. If you're in the middle of launching something, don't use Linktree, etc. I recently ran into a particular situation where I was paying someone for something and they wanted me to do a wire transfer. Now, listen, this is not best case scenario. I understand from a business owner's perspective why they're doing that, because there's, 3% charges, usually something along that range for credit cards, etc. However, doing a wire transfer, complete pain in the butt, complete and absolute pain in the butt. And the whole time I'm like, oh, why are we even doing the wire transfer? Because we like putting things on our Southwest Airlines card so that we can fly for free with as much as Jason and I fly. We like putting things on an American Express card so that we get credits towards Facebook ads. So I don't want to do a wire transfer. I want to put it on a card. And so that was super annoying. Don't make it annoying for your people. Recently, I also hired somebody to do a one-on-one consulting session with me and a couple of the people who are on my team. And I kid you not, you guys, they wanted me to put a check in the mail for this service. And I'm like, whoa, 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 whoa. It is 2023. And they wanted me to write a check and put a check in the mail. And I'm like, why are you not making this so easy for your people? So don't ask your people to do a wire transfer or write a check. Have a stinking buy button on a landing page for them. If you don't know how to do that, go to businessassistagency.com. That's my VA service, and ask them to make you a landing page. It does not cost that much, and it will cost you a lot less than the sales that you are currently losing. I guarantee you that. Okay. Another thing I want you to think about on your sales page, on your landing page, is how many of you have ever gotten to a sales page for something that you really wanted to sign up for? Maybe it was a course that you saw being offered. Maybe it's a monthly group. And the sales page is like so long. You're scrolling. And all you're looking for is that buy now button. But they've got it buried so far down at the bottom that you've got like a finger cramp by the time you get there. Listen, on your sales page, you want multiple buttons for people to buy. For the people who have been following you for a hot minute, some of you, My Better Way program is coming up. You're going to go to Better Way program because you've been saving your money for it. You want in, you're ready to start coaching, etc. You're going to go to betterwayprogram.com, and there's going to be a buy now button at the top of the fold, meaning you're not going to have to scroll at all. There will be a buy now button at the top, and then there'll be several more throughout the page. Put a button towards the top, in addition to wherever else in the middle, and of course at the end, for the people who already know that they're in. It's so annoying when you have to scroll all the way down to the bottom. Okay. Another thing, make sure you're giving people an option, not just to pay with a credit card, but to use like Apple Pay, to do PayPal. I want you to think about this for a second. How many of you have ever been, and maybe it's just me, but if you're on YouTube right now and you're watching this, will you tell me in the comments if you can relate to this? So how many of you are laying on the sofa on a Sunday afternoon, you're scrolling Facebook, you see a Facebook ad for a cute sweater, pair of jeans, pair of shoes, whatever. You click on it, you go to a storefront where somebody's selling that in a boutique, and you're like, amazing. I love the price. I love how it looks. The shipping's not bad. And you start doing the checkout process. But how many of you also have done that? And there's no way to use something like Apple Pay or something like PayPal, which means that you have to get up off the sofa and go to wherever your wallet is in the house to grab a credit card to come back to the sofa and put in the numbers. Listen, people don't do that. The majority of the time, you're going to lose that sale. And I'm going to tell you why. Sales are an emotional thing. It is an emotional process for us to do the exchange of money. And so from the time that I saw your Facebook ad and got to your checkout page and noticed that I have to get a credit card, by the time I see that, I'm already talking myself out of needing that sweater, that pair of shoes, that handbag, whatever. I'm already saying to myself, do I really actually need that bad? Jen, you've got a sweater upstairs that looks just like it. I don't even know where my purse is to get my wallet. You just bought something the other day. You really need to stop your online spending. Like, I'm already talking myself out of it. I will bounce from that sales page and not finish the checkout. The majority of the time, if I have to get up or whatever I'm doing and go find a debit card. Does that make sense? I know a bunch of you are just like me. So if you only have one option to pay on your checkout page, you are missing out on so many sales because your people, a lot of them are wired just like me. We're middle-aged, busy women who probably shouldn't be spending that much money, online and online stores anyway. So if you make it complicated for us at all, we will stop the checkout process. We just will. One more thing I wanted to tell you, especially if you're launching a course or you're doing a consulting package for people, give multiple payment options. If it's something that, let's say, is over the, anytime it's over like a $500 price point, I like to give payment options to people. But here's what I want you to know. 1, 2, or 3 options is all you give people. Any more than that, and you're going to definitely confuse them, and they're going to be doing the math, etc. So you could do like pay in full is this price. If you break it into 2 payments, it's this price. And by the way, the total of those 2 payments should be more than had they paid in full. If you want to break it into 4 payments, 5, 6, whatever, you can do that with this. You click on this button, but you need to make sure when you add up what that price totals, that it's like 20 to 25% more than if they had just paid in full. Why do you do that, Jen? Well, listen, when you are taking payment plans, you are essentially signing up for just more, there's more likelihood. Well, when they pay in full, you get the money instantly, right? When you're doing payment plans, you just have a much higher rate of people defaulting on their payments. Either you try to put it through the bank and they don't have the money there, or maybe their credit card gets lost in the mix and so the number no longer works, or they just decide they don't want to continue paying you, and then you end up having to figure out, do I proceed with, trying to get a third party involved so that they have to make the payments, and it just gets messy. And I don't like messy. So add 20 to 25% onto whatever they would have paid in full. When they make the payments, it needs to be 20 to 25% more than that. That way you're pushing people to pay in full, which is so much better for you in the long run. So was that helpful, friends? I hope this was helpful. I hope every one of you is going to run right now to find somebody who's going to go through your whole sales page process and give you honest feedback as to whether or not it's clunky. Is it complicated? Is it confusing? Because if it's any of those things, you're in trouble. And so hopefully this was good for you. If you need another resource on why you're not making sales, I do have a free resource called What's the Problem? It has 4 reasons why you're not making sales. You can go to jenniferallwood.com/problem. Again, that's jenniferallwood.com/problem, and get those 4 reasons you're not making sales there, with also, of course, the tips on how to fix them. So hope this was helpful for you guys today. Make it easy on your people. Make it easy for me to give you money. Okie dokie, artichoke. All right. I'll see you on the next podcast. Till then, bye-bye. I said okie dokie, artichoke. I could have also said easy breezy mac and cheesy.